This is a very special video. If it's your first time here, you will probably see that my other videos are in Brazilian Portuguese because I create content in Brazilian Portuguese. But this video is sponsored by the folks at Caramelo Games, and this video is about their first Kickstarter campaign, which is for the game Wipe 'Em Out. So I'm doing this in English for the Kickstarter campaign launch, so you guys can understand the game and know if it's worth it to back this game up or not. So just a quick disclaimer here, I have the Brazilian Portuguese copy with me, so some cards that you might see the names and what is right into the cards might not be familiar for you, but I will be translating and explaining everything. So keep with me in this video if you want to see if this game is for you and if you should back it or not. So let's start talking about Wipe 'Em Out. What is Wipe 'Em Out? Wipe 'Em Out is a card game for 2 to 5 players that plays around half an hour, and it's a very simple game. So from the story of the game, you and your friends, you are heroes that are competing against each other to see who can defeat more monsters or more valuable monsters. So it has a set collection for the monsters, and the player who has the highest score at the end will win. But why is this game interesting? If you are a person who likes take-that games and if you like to mess and screw with your friends, that might be an interesting game for you because you will have a lot of that in here. So how the game works? You have the monster cards, which you will use to collect some points, which is the score of the game. So here we have the 2 zombies card, here you have the vampire, and here you have the giant rat. These are just examples. You have more monsters into the game, and these cards will give you some points. For example, the giant rat will only give you 1 point for each giant rat card that you can collect during the game, while the zombies will give you points based on the overall collection of zombies in the game. So if you are the person with most zombies, you will get 6 points, while the second place will get 3 points. And if there is a tie, you will split up that amount. And so 1 vampire is worth 3 points, 2 is worth 7, while 3 is worth 10 points. So for different monsters, you have a different type of set collection. So let me show how a game round works. Each player will have 5 cards in their hands, and each round is divided into 4 different turns. The first turn is the setup or preparation turn, which a monster will be revealed for 2 to 3 players, and if you're playing on 4 to 5 players, 2 different monsters will be revealed. After revealing the monsters, each player will have to choose 1 artifact from their hands to play. The artifact cards are the ones with a number, the power of that card on top of them. So in this example, I will choose the Steam Beast and I will play it in front of the Mimic. It's important that you play your cards face down because they will be revealed in the next phase. So now I will wait for all the other players to play their cards, and then we will move to the next phase. After all the players have played their cards, we will reveal all the artifacts and we will compare them between the other artifacts that are fighting for each monster. So in this case, this is my artifact that has a value of 4, and this is the artifact of one of my opponents that has a value of 0. Starting with the player who has the artifact with the higher power, which in this case is the legendary blade with the power of 8, that player will resolve there is special effect on the card. In the case of the legendary blade, there's no special effect, and after that the game will continue clockwise on the table. So in this case, the lucky chest will draw from the artifact deck until it finds another artifact, and we will see if that value will add or subtract from the power of the lucky chest. So let's do that as an example. So this is an even number, the claws card is an even number, and so since it's an even number, that will sum up with the lucky chest, and the power of that card is 10 now, because you have the 6 from the lucky chest and the 4 from the claw, so you have 10, and this player is winning the battle for the giant rat against the player with the legendary blade. The effect of the Steam Beast is to draw 2 cards from the artifact deck, look at them, choose one of them, keep that in our hand, and discard the other one. So now I have 5 cards again in my hand, and I got a spell from the deck. So this sword here will copy the power of the highest power in the round. So this sword right now has 10 because the highest power in the round is from this card, who has 10 now because of its effect. So right now I have 4, and this other player that is competing with me against the mimic chest has 10, so that player is winning. So this is the artifact phase, and now that we resolved to see who has the most powerful artifact, we will move to the next phase, which is the spell phase. So during the spell phase, each player is starting with the player who started the artifact phase, which was this player who had the most powerful card on the beginning of that round. They can play spell cards, which are these cards that don't have any number printed on top of them, and activate the effect of those cards. So one scenario for this player is to play the magic shield that would protect them against any drawback from any spell cards that might be played during this round. So this might be a smart move if that player wants to protect their power against someone else to try to steal them, and in this specific scenario might not be the smartest move because they are already losing in power for this other player here. But in my case, I have the card here that allows me to exchange the artifacts from 2 players. So what I could do is that I could use that, and that includes me, to exchange my card with the card from the other player, and now I would be copying the value of this card myself. I would have the most powerful artifact that is competing for the mimic card. However, that might not be that easy because that player has a chance to respond to my attack, so they can counterattack my spell with their own spell. So they might play the magic shield themselves, and I would not be capable of stealing their card because they would be protected. So they would be copying this card, and they would be the most powerful artifact for the mimic monster. After they play that, I could also play another spell, and we could play those back and forth game. But since this is a magic shield, it's protecting them against anything, it makes no sense for me to go further playing other spells. So after all the spells are played and everything settled down, we can see which one is the most powerful player for each specific monster, and that player will collect that monster. So this is the last phase of a round, is the phase where you collect the monster. So this player would get the Mimic with this card, so those cards would be discarded and they would keep the Mimic. And here, this player with the claws and the lucky chest would get the giant rat and they would keep it, and all the cards that were played would be discarded. Players would draw cards until their hands are full again with 5 cards, and a new round would begin. So you would be playing that until there's no monsters left to be drawn from the monster deck. And after that, you will get all the monsters that you collected. You will calculate your final score, and the player who has the highest score wins the game. Now that I've explained how the game works for you, what do I think about the game? So Wipe 'Em Out is a very simple game, and it's a fun game. This game is for people that are looking to have some fun screwing and messing up their friends, because most of the cards of the game are built to do that. So this is a very heavy take that game. It's a game that you are trying all the time to screw with your friends, and it's a game that you just don't know what will happen, because it will all depend on the cards that your opponents are playing besides the cards that you have. So if you are not into games that involve luck, that might also not be for you. But if you want to have fun, if you like games with push your luck, with take that, you will probably have fun playing Wipe 'Em Out. There are some other games that have like similar mechanics, like Munchkin or even Boss Monster, where you're trying to like defeat something. But this game, the key difference for me, what shines in this game is that it's simple and fast. It's very straightforward. You play cards, you resolve all the values, the power, and then you can use the spells to try to revert, to turn the tides back to you, but that might not be possible. So this is a very straightforward game. You don't have complicated rules. You can play with anyone, and also it's very portable. This is a tiny box, so it's always good to have little boxes with games that you can carry around and have fun with your friends. Would I play Wipe 'Em Out if someone's invited me? Of course, it's a fast game that you can have fun with your friends. You will screw with them, they will screw with you, you will all laugh, and that's it. Very honest, very simple. This is Wipe 'Em Out. Well, I hope this video have helped you. If you guys could leave a feedback here, it would be really helpful, because this is the first time that I'm recording a video in English, so I might have missed something. But if you guys have any questions or any doubts about this game, leave it in the comment section and we can talk about it. All right, thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.